What's up, guys? This is Mickey. I'm here with my little brother, Murry. He owns and operates Paladin Exotics. He really specializes in tarantulas.
A little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. So you actually captive breed a lot of these tarantulas, right?
Absolutely. So I've produced 17 species so far. Obviously, I have a lot more than 17 available, but we work with breeders all over the country. Try to keep a little bit of everything that's available at the time, because that's kind of the name of the game in the tarantula hobby, is having a good selection for people to pick from. There's every body of land on Earth besides Greenland and Antarctica, I believe, has several different species of tarantulas. So there are thousands of species that aren't even in the hobby yet. There are thousands of species that are. So there's never a lack of options.
So how important is it for, like, you know, conservation efforts to captive breed the tarantulas?
Well, unfortunately, the pet trade has in the past done a lot of damage to native populations because of wild-caught tarantulas. So the only way that we really have to reduce the demand for wild-caught tarantulas is by captive breeding them. So that's that's the funnel where we try to put everybody down, is that you want to try to get something captive bred. Unless you're, you know, working on breeding something, captive bred is the way to go. That's the only thing that's going to prevent there being a demand for people to catch these out of the wild and ship them back to the States, which is where we see a lot of the issues.
Yeah, and I don't think a lot of people realize, but some of these countries like Brazil and stuff like that, like, you can't bring anything in legally from like Brazil.
And a lot of the most popular species in the hobby, like a lot of the Mexican brachypelma species, in the past you've seen them come in wild caught by the dozen or by the hundreds, and that's really just made it native populations in the wild just decline drastically, because those are very slow growing species. They're not like a curly hair tarantula that can grow to maturity in just a couple of years. A brachypelma takes close to 10 years to, you know, more in some cases, to be, you know, breeding age.
So what's a good starter tarantula for somebody that's interested in tarantulas? They don't have any tarantula experience, but they come in here today and they're like, I got to get a tarantula. What are you going to suggest that they get?
The go-tos that I always lean towards for an arboreal, I would say something like a pink toe, avicularia. That's always a good option. The Arizona blondes and the curly hairs would be a good terrestrials. Those are all options that you could reasonably handle. You don't have to worry about them being a bite risk. The setup and care for them is very basic. The price range is, you know, not anything out of this world. If you're willing to spend a little more, I would point you towards like a brachypelma, one of the Mexican species. They're a little more expensive, but they have a lot of the colors that people are looking for, and they're just as easy to care for and longer lived than the pink toe and the curly hair. So there's a few options there.
Your booth is getting very busy, so I'm going to cut this short and let you get back to it. Thank you,
All
man.
right, man. Appreciate you.